Hello, hey, hi everybody, social media family, and any visitors to my own personal channel, chat room, comment section, or whatever I've said. How you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. If not better yet to be said, to be feeling alright, or not best of all be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed. More blessed and stressed, or too blessed to probably be calm or be stressed. You and yours, your family and friends, hopefully me and mine. Likewise, as well, all the same. Well, whatever I haven't said. I myself, being that I'm my person, I'm speaking correct, proper standard, English grammar, American dialect of some such quality and quantities or not. Be I speaking King's English or street slang for that matter. But then, nevertheless, I wish you all well. Yeah. But then be sure to check out the footnotes of interest, being of which are associated with this present social media broadcast or video of mine, being of which I now have up and running, as you see. After I had gone about taking care of the necessary business and otherwise as well, likewise or all the same. Then a wish is to give you that of a brief commentary as to what this one is all about, in addition to how I would speak upon some such matters to inform your person and let you all know during the course of broadcasting for this one particular present social media broadcast or video of mine or whatever you want to call it. You know. But then I'm not really taking a liking to any internet trolls or in the negative that could possibly remind me of a proverbial neighbor from hell idiot or sick or psycho. But then it takes all kinds to make a world. And I don't need that kind of negative drama in my life coming from anybody at any time. And as certain ones of characters is that being of their own rank and file could possibly be of some or such of my neighbors. You know, insane like thought and other likes of proverbial neighbors from hell of the rank and file of dime a dozen public nuisances of problem neighbors, being of whom could possibly be moonlighting as from crank callers to stalkers to internet trolls or whatever I ever said. You know. Yeah. And if you are other likes of that kind, source or types of characters, well, whatever I have said, then please take a hike, get lost, or preferably you get saved by the blood of the Lamb. God take away the sins of the world, first and foremost, and that much more. Because I'm not geeing for any of that. Life is too short to be barred with the nonsense of somebody else who doesn't or don't even care for one's own well-being or for what's in one's own better interest. Not to mention that of some or such of another's or others. But then, for all my present viewers and listeners at the moment, hopefully you all are feeling much better than what I myself been. That my person I'm feeling like as a president one time. Me feeling like kind of under the weather, where it's been lingering more or less the symptoms of a physical nature, though slowly but surely I seem to be getting better. So pray for me if any of you all are believing in God as in Christians, not making reference to it, not regarding the false brethren, false prophets, or antichrist, or closet devil worshippers, being of whom make up the majority of most churchgoers or whatsoever, whatever religious denomination from the pools to the pulpits. But then I was meaning to do this here particular present social media broadcast video soon enough, but with the way I was feeling lately and still am, was I kind of like had to postpone it, trying to go about the necessary business at hand to get better, as including if I would have to pay a visit to a local vicinity, neighborhood, community, medical facilities, premises, properties, be it public or private for that matter, a hospital, and then do follow up at a clinic from there. Because I've been really just been feeling kind of out of it lately. Uh, I don't know what it is. Well, hope you know doctors. Hopefully, not one doctor or nurse had given me something that one should not be giving me without my knowledge as well as without my permission. You know, and because that could be a possibility as well as anything else that could have played a part or be a factor in how that in my person am feeling as the present moment in time. You know, but hopefully I am feeling much better as I seem to be than what I felt like last week. Disregard any interruptions you could possibly hear in the background. Is just some El Stupid Dumb Cop or idiots and or sickos or psychopaths, sociopaths or certain neighbors, who continue to disregard, disrespect the rights and privileges of their fellow neighbors as well as violate their own apartment rental lease. Then because stupid does stupid feels, and there's an increase of weirdos or idiots and sickos in the world within this existence as we have it upon an international level with the global pandemic being as it is. Moving right along, as our kissing cousins, the Brits would say, British English, for those being of whom are citizens, the supposed so-called motherland that supposedly had given birth to our own democratic republic or democracy as we have in the USA. Yes. Yes, let me just go ahead and finish up here with the basic intro and just get into the subject matter, topic discussion, or give an argument to be debated with the many different views and opinions to be associated with some of such the pros and cons thereof. You know, as the present one is regarding making reference to the underage minor of a preteen child who was most recently shot dead as a result of developments of getting caught in the crossfire of gangland warfare or gang banging rivalry. Being a witch is just so senseless. It don't make a bit of sense, none whatsoever. It is nonsense. They're talking about it now on the television news or a particular news channel station. That's what you heard last in the background. But anyway, though, what it was, they switched over to another news story, but they'll get back with that. That's part of the news segment or the news broadcast. But anyway, though, so this little 4-year-old boy, one of the ethnic minorities of a non-white young male, was in a barber shop with his father, dad, stepdad, or whatever I've said, and gangbangers, the shooter in question, be he had himself an accomplice in crime or not, was shooting at a rival gangbanger. End up shooting this little kid, this little child, this little boy. Whereas this innocent child was just getting a haircut, and that's rather tragic. I get sick and tired of having to report these kind of incidents in my own feed, especially when I myself had most recently lost my own mother and mom. As a matter of fact, her funeral was supposed to be today, but I wasn't going to attend it. I know some of you say, why not? Why wouldn't you? Well, compared to how some would be, having kind of like scruples about my decision not to be in attendance. But then, nevertheless, like what others should understand where I'm coming from as I'm about to give an explanation as to why I would not want to be an attendee there. Because this one sister of my own flesh and blood, I believe that she had a lot to do with the passing of our late mother and mom, where she was the power of attorney over her. Speak upon these matters before I were to get back to the original topic of discussion, subject matter, as we have it at hand for a given argument. And whereas I was trying for the longest to try to get her to transfer the power of attorney over our mother or mom over to me, seeing how she's out of state and I'm within the same state of the union where our late mother and mom is, but she refused to do so. Where she's out there somewhere in Oklahoma, in a totally different state, outside the state where our late mother and mom is. And so that could have possibly jeopardized our late mothers and moms' general physical health, among other things, as I suspect. To add insult to injury, that's his one, I can't say sister, but rather former ex-sister, because that's how I consider her to be now. I look at her as being in that line of thought. I suspect that she had ordered, a doctor and nurse to pull the plug on our mother and mom that was supposed to be hooked up to a life support system. So that's the very reason or purpose or the nature of that given argument why I said that. I couldn't be in attendance or attend the funeral procession, Yes. Because that would do our mother or mom a great dishonor or disrespect. If I were to be there and then get into it with this one sister, for how she not only had, caused our mother or late mom to become subject to experiencing a great dishonor and disrespect, but me myself likewise, So anyway, though, getting back to some such other though, the original topic of discussion, in due regard in reference to the death of a 4-year-old black boy, you wrong, whoever you are, as the shooter, be you have any accomplices in crime or not, you need to turn yourself in, Man up, motherfucker. I'm sorry you are, but you just pisses me off. Man up, MF, to rephrase that. Son of a bitch, bastard. You cocksucker. You know better than you lack just as much manhood as a much more familiar faggot or homo. Man up, MF. That little child had a right to grow up. Why you want to go, on a shooting rampage, head hunting for a rival gangbanger and not respect the rights and privileges of other people's right to life? That's wrong, man. That's wrong. Why? Because you wrong. Man, you're pathetic. You're pitiful. Like a neighbor from hell faggot. Idiot, sick or psycho. Man, you need to turn yourself in. That's what you need to do. I'm saying to the shooter of that young 4-year-old child, that's nothing but a baby, man. What's wrong with you, man? I said, what's wrong with you? I mean, don't you have a conscience, man? If you have any conscience, you would turn yourself in as soon as possible. Go to the nearest police station and turn yourself in, man. And while you're at it, if you had any accomplices in crime, try to convince them to turn themselves in likewise, because you're wrong, man. You're wrong. And if you don't turn yourself in, then you will continue to be nothing but a poop butt or pissant. In my book, man, you're lower than the lowest of amoebas. You're lower than a pissant, man. You hear what I'm saying? You're like one of them little maggots or something, little insignificant, nasty ass maggots, that are associated with flies, man. I mean, how can you kill a little child, man? Innocent little kid, man. That don't make any sense. You're so hate-filled against a rival gangbanger that you want to risk the life of an old woman. That could be your own mother or mom or your grandma. Be she were to be related to you or not, or you could risk the life of a little child that could be your own son or grandson. They're talking about now. I mean, turn yourself in, man. Do the right thing. Man up. Be a man for a change, I mean, we got all these dime a dozen gangbangers out here. shooting like crazy, not even hitting their target of a rival gangbang, but shooting some of anything and everything or anybody and everybody else. That don't make any sense, man. You know, and if I would have knew your whereabouts, I'd turn you in a minute. You know, I mean, I make an exception when it comes to being a trick in that regard, because that was a little child, that was a little innocent little child, you know. Yeah, I wear the title of being a trick proudly. You hear what I'm saying? When it comes to turning a maggot like that, you know, that's a little child, man. And anybody that end up killing a little child or old woman, you know, senior citizen woman, you know, walking down the street just because you all hot and bothered, you got all this anger built up in you for another gangbanger, man. That's senseless, man. You ain't nothing but a piece of shit in my book, man. You know what I'm saying? You's a cocksucker. You's a piece of shit. You a shithead. You a shithead ass motherfucker. You's a piece of shit, man. That's a little baby. That little child didn't get the chance to grow up to become a teenager, adolescent, let alone a man. That little baby boy, 4-year-old boy, 4-year-old child of underage male minor, man. You ain't nothing but a piece of shit in my book, man. Like a neighbor from hell faggot with his creepy as well as crazy ass. You ain't nothing but a piece of shit in my book, man. You need to get a life, man. Redeem yourself, man. Turn yourself into the boys in blue. The popo, the police, the cops, man. But that was senseless what you did. That was just so much nonsense, man. That was a little child, man. A little child, a kid. A 4-year-old child, man. How could you, man? How could you? I don't give a damn if you was to be a car can member to a 1% of MC motorcycle club. You know, I drop a dime on your ass in a minute, you know. Killing a little child in the process, you going after a fellow rival out there in the street. I don't give a damn if you were to be a car can member to the Hells Angels or a car can member to the Banditos or whatever. I mean, when a child is involved, a child or old woman, a pregnant mom is involved, man, I become a trick in a minute on something, anybody, everybody, regardless of whether or not there's a reward or money involved. Because that was a little innocent child, man. Turn your rusty, dusty, musty, faggoty ass in, you know. As you represent less manhood to be compared on to a much more familiar faggot, you know, the average homo, you know. Turn yourself in, man. That was a fag move that you did. Killing a little child in the process, you going after a rival gangbanger. www.godhatesfags.com. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That was senseless, man. But anyway, though, y'all, I'm going to close on this last note of interest. And I'm sorry about all the cussing and swearing that I did. Cussing and swearing like a drunken sailor, especially, you know, as I am experiencing my own loss of a loved one, you know. Then you have to hear this stupid and sick, you know, this stupid and sick ass news story, you know. You hear what I'm saying? But anyway, though, if y'all haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done and did upon the cross of Calvary. So at the hands of the Roman soldiers up on the orders of their superior religion and otherwise, but then nevertheless, well, he went to that cross of Calvary to become the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice, so that you won't have to worry about going to hell, but so that you can go to heaven once you were to leave this world. Y'all take care. Peace.